Alrighty.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
What?
Don't say it.
Go ahead. Do your introduction.
Hello, welcome to Habits You Love. What's up?
What's going on?
Nothing.
How are you today?
Good. Went to church this morning, and then I was watching another one online when you came home, and now we're having a chit chat.
Yeah.
Do you think you're an interesting person to talk to?
I would say more than most people.
Someone told me what'd they say? They just said, he is just the most interesting person
That's
to talk
funny.
to.
Do you remember that old beer commercial? It was like the world's most interesting man.
Yeah, of course. The green bottle.
Heineken.
No, Dos Equis.
Oh, Dos Equis. You're right. That was the wrong green bottle.
What about it?
I think that guy's from Sarasota.
Really?
Just everything.
That could be you one day.
I just got to grow my beard out and
you got to turn old, and then that could be you, the most interesting man in the world.
gracefully.
What did he do that was so interesting? He was very sophisticated.
His mom even had a tattoo that said "son" on her arm. That's how interesting he was.
Because instead of his saying "mom,"
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Funny.
Well, let's get into it. Should we talk about the picture first?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
That was a very funny story.
Let's talk about your manifestation of the moose. Or it's not mooses, it's still moose.
It's still moose. Like goose. Wait.
Oh boy, here we go.
Goose and wait, what's the one that's
geese would be the plural of goose.
Yeah, not gooses.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't want to become an internet meme, so I'm going to stop right now. So this is a picture of, well, in the frame, it's my face is half cut off because I can't fit it. But there's two moose in the background here. And this is a very interesting story. So I was about to move back to Florida from Colorado. And you were going to come out there and we were going to drive back together, do a whole thing. So we decided to do one final trip in Colorado. And this was in the end of June, I think. And so we planned a trip. Where were we? The Rocky Mountains.
We were at the Rocky Mountain National Park.
Rocky Mountain National Park, yeah. And the whole time I lived in Colorado, it was my goal to see a moose. Like, I just really wanted to see a moose walking down the side of the road or in the trees, in the forest, in the woods. And I never saw one. So for weeks, I was telling people that I was going to see a moose on this trip that we were going to go on. I was like, it wasn't even like a question in my mind, which is kind of funny because I think manifestation or whatever you want to believe in or whatever you do believe in, you really have to be in this like, no, it's already happened in your mind sort of thing. So in my mind, it had already happened. I was like, I'm going to see a moose. I was telling everyone I was going to see a moose. So you get there, we drive to Rocky Mountain National Park. We are driving into our campground and we park and I get out and I'm just kind of surveying our area, where we're going to put the tent and where our picnic table is. And lo and behold, there was two moose right in front of me.
Yeah. How big are they?
I don't know. Big.
Taller than an average car.
Yeah.
I mean,
the only thing I was a little disappointed in was they didn't have the antlers. I think they must have been babies because they didn't have antlers, but I wasn't very specific, I guess, with what kind of moose I wanted to see. So yeah, it was just crazy that we pull up and they were there for about 5-10 minutes. And I think they were hungry because they were looking in people's cars and they were going throughout the campground.
They're so smart that those moose have been there for a long time or their parents or ancestors, because they know once they come down to the campsites, this is going to be easy pickings down here because these humans.
I don't think they had very much luck though.
Because these humans are not the smartest. But they'll look inside your car in the windows to see if you have food And if the windows are down, they're going right in. And sometimes they said they'll shatter your window to try to get something.
That'd be so funny to just see them like knocking up against a car and tipping it over. But
yeah, that's why they have like a bear safe or a food safe when you're out there. They have those big metal boxes that you open and put all your stuff in, because
I just remember you were still at the car. I just walked out and I ran back. I was like, so excited. I have a video and I am jumping up and down, and then we get there, they're there, and then within 10 minutes they're gone, and then I never saw a moose ever again. So that was a pretty cool manifestation story, if you ask me.
Yeah, it was good. You were super excited.
I was. I don't know why I wanted to.
Like a little kid.
I think it was good. Well, it was just the fact that one, I saw a moose, and then two, it really was like oh my gosh, I actually made this happen. So yeah, it was cool.
Did we ever talk about the time when we were in Rocky Mountain National Park? I don't know if this was the same. Was this the same trip that as soon as we pulled into Rocky Mountain National Park, there was traffic backed up, and it was because
that wasn't Estes Park.
Another time. Okay, so Park. One time at Estes Park, yeah, it was right outside the Rocky Mountain National Forest.
Yeah, I don't know.
We didn't go in, but it was right on the outside of it. So
So
we were up there, and the park ranger actually had all the cars stopped. Well, this herd of elk actually had all the cars stopped. And so Kayla had to get out of the car, left me in Berkeley in the SUV.
I didn't leave you. You chose not to come.
Listen, I've seen so many videos. I'm not watching these mama elk,
I wasn't the only one out there. And there was police.
I know, that's the problem. Is that you guys think you guys see stuff on National Geographic, and then you're out in the thick of it with your cell phones recording it, and it's like, man,
that was so beautiful.
If you're around especially like bison, buffalo, just animals are going to protect themselves, and they're going to protect their young. Well,
that was really cool though.
In the safety of that SUV.
Well, there was like hundreds of elk, crossing the road. And what was so cute was when they all were done, there was that baby one still up on the hill, and then there's one elk. He
was making noise.
Yeah, there's one elk.
I was like, come on. I was
like, where is he? And then she ran back up the hill and got this baby, and then came back down and caught up with the rest of the herd.
It's like she was yelling at him. She's like, come on. He's like, Mom. She's like, come on. And then like, that's what it was like. Yeah, I don't want to. There's a lot of people. And she's like, and then she comes back across the road, gets him, and they walk across together.
Spanking later, basically. Yeah, that was right outside the Rocky Mountain National Park, but it was in Estes Park, and I think that was the time that it was weird. You had to have a reservation to get into the park.
Yeah, you probably still do. I bet.
I don't think we had to have one for when we went and saw the moose. Anyway.
Just gets busy.
Yeah, it just gets busy. So anyway, we didn't get to make it that time, but we saw elk, so that was cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. That was a good experience. And then we took that hike while we were in Rocky Mountain National Park. We took the hike up to that little lake that was so beautiful.
Oh yeah,
There's a couple people walking around.
Supposed to have Berkeley on.
I didn't admit to that.
It's already over and done.
I never said anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
You weren't supposed to have animals on the hike.
I don't recall what you're talking about.
Yes, you do.
Nope. Wasn't there.
Oh man, looking back, that was really silly of us. You probably talked me into it. You're probably like, Berkeley has to come with us.
I doubt that's the way it went. But I probably wouldn't also leave him in a car or a tent either.
Yeah, so that's why you're like, babe, let's just take him. Come on, it'll be fine.
Yep. And yeah, you're right. It was all my idea.
Anyway, there was this lake that we wanted to go to. It was by our campsite, but it strictly said, I mean, there were signs everywhere. No animals, no dogs allowed. But Berkeley's not a dog. He's a service animal. So I was like, well, it'll be fine. I have his vest on. I took his vest, or we had his vest on. And
I got a couple thumbs downs on this whole thing right here.
Sorry, PETA.
And another one.
But we risked it for a biscuit. We made it out alive.
Got a couple good photographs out of the deal.
Yeah, honestly, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't. There was nothing crazy about it.
Yeah.
But these two ladies walking
Humans and dogs have been everywhere, so it's fine.
These two ladies walking around the lake, they were volunteers for the park, and they were like, "You're not supposed to have your dog."
Yeah.
And I was
They
like,
were really upset with us. They were upset with us.
Basically, a bear or a moose or a big deer could have came and attacked us.
They don't care if he's a service animal or not.
They should. They should see his little vest.
Don't mess with that dog.
They should. They should know. They should say, "That's a working dog, and he's doing good in the world."
Yeah.
Maybe they do. Maybe that's why we didn't see one.
Probably why we got a pass.
All right, so let's talk about this week.
Yeah,
it was kind of very interesting.
Okay, yeah, today's Sunday. Let's recap the week. Well,
you played detective all day last week. Not last week. Thursday?
I played detective.
Thursday, was it? Or Tuesday?
I don't know. Was it Thursday? I think
it was Thursday. Yeah. You want to talk about what happened?
So, I won't give
No, don't give too many details or get anyone in trouble.
Yeah. So, essentially, there was
and let's preface that we don't want to talk about this as it's a sad story, so we're not trying to be funny or joke about it or anything. But
no, it's a serious situation. So it's a serious situation. So I was at home,
which is rare.
Supposed to be
at home on Thursday.
Supposed to be doing some work, and I peep out the window and look outside, and I think it was 4 sheriff cars outside, 4 SUVs. And then there was a crime scene van, and then there was I saw a detective and maintenance man. Anyways, there's a lot of people outside, and I'm like, what the heck's going on, So, of course, I'm have to watch what's going on. And
so envious that you were getting the play-by-play and you're texting me.
Yeah, so I saw the detective going in and out of the apartment. I saw him go in, he came back out, grabbed a flashlight. So, automatically I'm like, okay, why does this man have to grab a flashlight? It's obviously dark.
In the middle of the day.
In the middle of the day, it's kind of weird. Yeah, but I saw a lady who looked to be dressed as a crime scene investigator, and she went in with an officer. They came out. I knew obviously something had gone down. I imagined that it was either homicide or suicide, or I wasn't really sure. But I watched for a while. I watched. There were probably 3 hours, 2 hours, something like that. Eventually, I left. I had some things that took Berkeley out to the dog park and let him run around. Then I went to the grocery store. I came back and most of them were still there. I think a few of the police were gone, but I saw 2 white vans, so I was sure that was either a coroner or medical examiner or something. About that time when I got back, they wheeled the body out, and they wheeled the body out and they put it into the van. They were there for another maybe 10 minutes and they left. And I saw the crime scene lady. She brought out a manila envelope with something in it,
Well, at one point you said that there was a animal services
van. Yeah. So, but they probably used that van for a lot of different reasons. You know what I mean? It's like a utility van. So I saw the crime scene lady taking photos of the car, taking pictures of the car. So turns out it was a young lady that lived across from us. She's 26 years old. I didn't know her. I maybe had seen her outside running on her little treadmill. I think she had a treadmill on her porch. And, from the outside looking in, when I saw her, happened to look outside and see her running on her treadmill, I think, man, I was kind of inspired. I'm like, dang, that chick's freaking running right now. Instead of going down to the gym and wasting 20 minutes to get there, she's running on her treadmill at her place. She's saving time. She's crushing it. in my mind.
Mm-hmm. So you thought of this as
Meanwhile,
someone kind of having it somewhat together or
yeah,
on the road to improving their life, at
yeah,
least, in the very least, you
I
know?
was inspired by her running outside on her porch. Like, I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I gotta get it together and go run, whatever. But she had a nice car. She had a little Tesla, and they were taking photographs of it. And
You wanted to go look in it.
I was super curious. I did look through the windows, and I saw a bunch of tissues, and it's like someone was really crying or having a hard time. Yeah, it looked like somebody was going through a lot of stress, or they were very distressed. And so, like, this just makes me think that, like, even when someone seems like they have it together, or, someone is maybe doing okay, like, you can really be plagued by whatever it is, anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts. And for me, I want to be able to create a safe space where if people are having a hard time or having these thoughts, that they should feel okay to reach out to somebody. We all need somebody to talk to. For me, that was my father, and I just lost him. So now I have to find other resources to bounce my ideas and my thoughts off of, you know? And I don't know what this person was going through in their life. And
I feel like you were really shook up about it for like a day.
well,
You were like, man, like a day.
yeah, just the girl's young. She's like 26. I told you, like, to me, she wasn't even an adult yet, almost, So it's just really sad. It's a sad situation.
Yeah,
And
I
I
felt
just
like
I want people to be able to talk to others that they love and care about. And I want other people to be able to read and recognize and understand that if someone is having a problem, how we can approach these situations. So it just needs to be discussed and talked about. And I'm not saying, like, I've had hard times before, like I said. Yeah. I just
kind
I
of
don't want this to be a thing that happens, especially with a young woman. 26 is like, man, so much life to be lived.
um we didn't know her by any means, but we're just on the
No.
outside looking in, and we have no idea what's going on with her or her thoughts or where she is in her life. And
yeah, it's just like sad to think that, I'm sure she had a family. We all got moms and dads and brothers and sisters.
So what did that? So I feel like that experience kind of stirred something up in you or brought up some stuff.
Just want everybody to be able to have the resources if they need them. So what are some resources that we could throw out there?
Yeah, well, first, before I talk about resources, I'll talk about just even the importance of, first of all, not suppressing your emotions. And again, we're kind of going off this little story, but
yeah,
and we don't know what happened at all.
Yeah.
It could be something completely different than what we think.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think obviously I think a lot of people just suppress their emotions. I don't know why that is. There's a lot of shame, guilt, judgment, anxiety that comes with being able to actually say what you want to say. But just in and of itself, the expression, the words coming out of your mouth of what you are going through, what triggers you, what are your deepest, darkest thoughts or secrets, like that in and of itself is so healing. Just, I know for me, even just saying things or confessing or whatever you want to call it, like a weight lifted off my shoulder, even just finding a trusted friend that would listen without any judgment. Like that is so healing. You don't have to you don't have to be like, okay, I'm ready to start talking about my feelings. Let me set up a therapist appointment. I think people just read too much into the process of getting started. And I think just even having a trusted friend or anyone to just say what you're going through, that is healing in and of itself. Just saying the words.
So you need to be able to talk.
Yeah, I think, just talking.
You need to have somebody to be able to turn to.
Yeah. I remember in my therapy sessions, sometimes we talk about a lot. Sometimes I wouldn't be able to get through a lot because I'd be crying or It would take a while, but I remember towards the beginning and even towards the end, she would be like, "You look completely different than when you walked in. Like your countenance looks completely different." And I felt different. I felt lighter. I felt more open. I just felt peace and calm, like in my physical body, just by telling this person something that I had never told anyone before, or the way I was feeling. So, and that, yes, that happened to be a therapist, but I'm saying it doesn't always have to be a professional right away. Like for you, it was your dad.
Found a great sense of relief talking to my father.
Yeah.
And he did too sometimes. Sometimes I had to be that for him, which I thought was kind of, I mean, that happened the last couple of years of his life where he was actually like leaning onto me for my
we all need it the rest of our lives.
my good demeanor, my clear-headedness, level-headedness. He needed a piece of that. So at times we were that for each other.
Yeah. I just know being very close to someone that has taken their life, I know for a fact that they just suppressed so much. And I think that eventually catches up to you, to where you build up so much shame, guilt, anxiety, a lot of pressure, a lot of, well, I've done all of this up until this point and no one knows. And the only way out of it is for me to be gone, basically. So yeah, I just think little by little, just talk about it. Just start with how you're feeling right in that moment. Right. But
yeah, I think there could be other ways to go about it too. I think sometimes you could be so focused in on something that it's like you're kind of reiterating that you have a problem or that there's something wrong. If you're just so focused on the problem, then like you're not actually seeing what good is out there, if that makes sense.
Well, you can't get what you want by focusing on what is. I want this out here. I want peace. I don't want these thoughts. I don't want this. But you're so focused on the thoughts that you do have. It's hard to get out of it. It's really hard. It just takes attention and effort and awareness. So what did you do? I know you've said you've had some hard times. What did you do? What were your outlets or things that helped you?
The biggest thing I found that works for me is exerting energy. You know what I mean? So when I would just be the worst off in my head, I would just go the hardest outside or in the gym, whether it's running, I would just kind of go extreme with it. And it's a natural way of doing things. So that was good for me. Yeah.
So that would be maybe your advice to someone, and maybe even the space that you could create for someone.
But also like reflecting, being able to reflect on your past, but not being like judgmental or bothered by it, but simply just like looking back and understanding and appreciating, and not like focused in on it at a bad way, like I should have done this or should have done that, but being able to reflect. I was just talking to a friend on the telephone about that, and we were just saying how I told him he just lost both of his grandmothers. And crazy thing is they lived in the same small town in Oklahoma, both sets of his grandparents, where some of my family is from. And I just told him, I said, man, if I could give you any advice, I would just tell you to like not like jump right back into living life so fast, and to like allow yourself some time to think about them, to think about moments that you shared with them. If moments pop into your head sometime, like throughout the course of a day or throughout the course of the day, like lean into those moments a little bit, like try to experience them, try to like really live in it for a second, try not to avoid it, like, because it comes and goes. So I think if you have these memories pop up and stuff, it's kind of, it's just like your mind wanting to relive some of these experiences. So try to allow yourself to be in it.
I think one of the biggest things people do, and I know I do it, is not lean into their feelings. Any feeling that comes up, they don't just sit with it. They don't let it pass through. If it's categorized as bad, they try to avoid it, like you said. Really quick to hone in on the good feelings and be happy and be joyful. But then when a bad feeling comes, it's like, no. Like, I can't feel that. I have to like skirt around that one. So being able to tune in and sit through all emotions and feelings is really important. So I know for me, after my mom died, I didn't do that at all for 2 years. What you just said is like, if a memory popped up, you're like, I don't think about that. If I think about that, I'll cry.
Crazy.
Yeah.
No, you should have.
I didn't know. I didn't have the tools.
Yeah. In order to heal, you have to let your body and mind work through those things kind of naturally.
Like I said in the beginning, even opening your mouth and sharing what's really going on with you is already the biggest step I think you could do. So just do that first.
So
it'd be like me walking into my therapist and being like, this is what's going on. And that was so healing. Just for me to say, like, this is what's been going on. I was taking ownership of it. I was taking responsibility. I was taking my life back at that moment, even though it took a while to, in that moment, you don't just go forward. You kind of have to backtrack and you kind of go backwards and work your way up to that point. But it's complete ownership. So
it's going to be Valentine's Day here in a couple of days, and I'm excited what you have planned for us. What? You don't have anything planned?
Let's not relive that.
Hope you got me like a big teddy bear or something.
Nothing. We're not putting anything else in this place. There's already too much. It's already overwhelming.
I know. Once we start getting all the baby stuff, I was like,
we're going to have so much of baby stuff.
I think we're going to need a bigger place. Like, I didn't think about this.
No, we're not.
I need another bedroom. No.
I haven't really told anyone, but I really don't want anyone to get me any toys. Like, I just don't want my house filled with baby toys. I don't want that.
He just needs some dumbbells.
He just needs.
His toys will be like a kettlebell, a dumbbell, weight vest, a little baby weight vest.
His toys will be what we already have in here, which is
an empty plastic bottle, some dog toys,
control, a sock.
Just kidding.
So, yeah, it is our last.
It's our last Valentine's.
As lots of things.
Yeah.
As unmarried, as baby, as no baby. Yeah, it's gonna look different.
It's when you were a kid, you would, do Valentine's in class and for everybody. Like, does that bring up any memories?
Yeah. Get the shoebox and you poke a hole in the middle of it, but then you wrap it with wrapping paper, and that's like your Valentine's box. You ever do that?
What is it?
You never did that at school?
Explain.
Yeah, so your class would have a Valentine's Day party, and everyone was responsible for bringing Valentine's. What are they called?
Valentine's Day cards.
I mean, cards or
they have like little stuff in them.
Yeah, but back in that day, I'm sure they still do. But you went to the store, and there's different, themes of cards, like superheroes, princesses, whatever. So I don't know, just pick mine out for that year.
Explain the shoebox.
Yeah, so the shoebox.
I remember the Valentine's cards. I remember the parties, but I'm not remembering.
Did you collect all your Valentines in a plastic sack?
I don't remember. Okay, I'm almost 36 this year. Right.
You don't have to be this question.
Well, I'm just saying I remember those little cards. But
so what I would do
about a shoebox and
I would do, which it's way different now. Now people go all out on they do like these elaborate Valentine's boxes. Like I've seen like Harry Potter themed, superhero themed.
Just explain the box.
Anyway, so mine was super simple. You just took a shoebox and it has the lid. You took the lid off.
Okay.
You would cut a rectangle in the lid.
Oh, okay. I know what you're saying. They just drop it in there. Okay.
What do you think I was talking about?
I thought you were talking about cutting a hole in the side of the box for some reason. Putting something in there. I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's how you collected all your Valentines.
Simply put, it's a piggy bank for your
piggy bank for your love
Valentine's
notes.
Day cards. All right.
Yeah, and I was always like, oh, I wonder if that boy that I like is gonna write something special on my Valentine's card.
What did he write?
I'm just kidding. I have no idea. Like usually each one had a piece of candy or like a lollipop taped to it or something. And you would go home and you would open them and read them all, and then get all mushy gushy. But that's all I remember. Yeah, Valentine's Day. I don't know. To me, it's not as important as other dates, but obviously it's a made up holiday that someone made up.
It's important.
Why is it important?
Because it's about love. So and love is the most important thing ever.
So is that the only day of the year you should show love?
Yeah. 1 out of 365. No, but
it's not true. You do it all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that I think it's fun. It gets everybody excited. It makes men go buy flowers, which they should do that without it having to be a holiday.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, if you're a man, buy your woman flowers, but actually don't buy her flowers like on Valentine's Day. If you want to be like surprised, like do a few days before, do a month after, do like other times. You know what I mean? Because then
you got me some. When did you get me some? Like 3 days ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I had 2 Valentines.
Yeah, because it's not expected.
Yeah.
Yep. When you expect something and you don't get it, you're disappointed. When you don't expect anything and you get it, then you're highly.
3rd trimester's kicking my ass.
Everyone is asking about you today at the gym. They're like, "How's Kayla? How's Kayla?" I was
What'd
like,
you say?
I said that baby's finally getting to her. And she's tired out.
Finally. 3 weeks out.
Like, she's tired. Yeah, she's like, the wall. No, but it is like the doctor said. He said, if you are very active throughout the day, or you're walking a lot, or you're moving around a lot at night, he might be a little unsettled, or he might be moving around a lot.
No, it's not that he's moving around. I'm just fatigued.
No, yeah, you're getting tired.
Yeah, and definitely can't move and work out like I was. Like I was all like, oh man, I can do this till the end, but no, like I can't really do lunges anymore. Hurts my stuff down there.
Anytime anyone says the word lunges, it just makes me think of lunch, like lunches.
Yeah.
So I always like
get hungry.
Oh. So careful saying lunch around. Just kidding.
I wouldn't want you to go hungry because Lord knows how you act.
What? I get hangry?
Yeah. Oh man.
How do I act? I'm hungry.
Man, you are not nice. Oh, when was it? The other day. I mean, well, the other day you asked me to bring you something to the gym. I brought you sandwiches, and I don't know. It's just like as soon as you put anything in your mouth, you're like, okay, oh, I'm better. Yeah. You have that. You have that symptom.
I'm sorry if I get hangry.
I do too, though.
Yeah. It's all right.
The only difference between you and I is I'm always prepared with food. You're not.
That's true.
So
I'll take the first thing
to the hangriness way more than I do.
Yeah.
As soon as I feel it coming on, I'm like, oh, all right, I got my snacks. Got my stuff. I'm prepared.
You are prepared.
I never go anywhere without food.
But that's good. That's why you are who you are, and why you do what you do, and why you coach the way you coach, and it's all part of your process.
Yeah. Should never eat and then go hours and hours without eating again. Not good. Not good. My problem lately, and I think this is another reason why I'm tired, and I know you're not going to agree because you're going to be like, oh, it's the hormones. Oh, it says you're pregnant. But I've just been eating like shit. Eating so much sugar. So much. And that's making me tired.
I have something to do with it, I'm sure.
If I didn't have the sugar, I wonder what I would feel like.
But I don't think you eat horrible. Or horribly. I think you had some cereal, had a little ice cream,
pizza.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, all right, you're right. Okay,
maybe cookies.
Wow, that's true. Maybe you gotta stop eating so much sugar.
Oh, he wants the sugar.
He likes it. Oh boy, we're in for one now. He's hooked.
Stop. I don't know about anyone else, but I feel like maybe some women can attest to this or help me out and make me feel better, but I've lost my pregnancy glow for sure. It's gone.
You just feel like
I feel like sunken in. My face isn't glowy. I'm not I have like bags under my eyes.
It's very beautiful.
Well, thank
So
you.
don't think that you are not beautiful, because you are.
I know. I'm not saying I'm not beautiful. I'm just saying it's not as much.
Your actual energy glow.
Yeah, my glow. I really felt like I had a glow about me. I haven't had people
You had a surge of
randomly,
energy.
and people randomly, like one day I had 3 people tell me in one day, like, you're just glowing. And I was barely showing. I think they could tell I was pregnant, but like some guy at the grocery store, it's like, wow, you're just glowing. And now I feel like, oh well, it's almost over.
Got to experience all the full spectrum of feelings.
I can't wait to tell people about our birth story, but I also can't wait to know myself what happens. It's getting close.
Just hope everything comes out okay.
Yeah. Just praying for a healthy, safe, quick, easy delivery. That's what I put in my journal every day. Healthy, safe, quick, easy. Even though the doctor didn't make me feel too good about the quickness.
Yeah, he said typically first baby, it's 12 to 18-hour pregnancies. Typically.
Pregnancy? That would be nice.
I mean, not pregnancy.
That would be nice. You're pregnant. Here's your baby.
Or a fish. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. He said on average, and I was like, you know what? I'm not average. This is gonna be quick, but I don't want to put my foot in my mouth, so yeah, I'm trying not to say anything.
You have to prepare to endure.
Are you gonna be able to stick by me and help me?
Has there ever been a time when I haven't?
I mean, we've just never gone through anything like this.
Not your physical pain, but we've been through my pain together.
Like your emotional pain?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's gonna be different.
It's all right. You're built for it. Literally, you're one of the strongest people I've ever met.
Yeah.
Like, for real.
I just hope I can be strong in that moment, though.
You can. You will. You have to.
What did someone tell you? Someone told you not to. I shouldn't have to ask you for anything. Basically, is what they said.
Who said this?
I don't know. Someone said it.
I don't know who this person is.
But basically saying, make sure you're doing things before I have to ask you. It's a test for you as well to see.
It's gonna be a test for both of us. For real.
Why do women have to do everything?
Yeah, you think they have to do everything? And having a kid's the hardest thing, probably most.
They do. Women
physically painful and traumatic.
We were talking about this the other day. Like, when you get married, the woman has to be the one to change everything.
Yeah.
Not fair.
We all just got to do our jobs. I'll do mine, you do yours, and then we'll be successful. Should I draw a card?
Yeah, let's
talk about what we did yesterday walking around the arts festival, or we'll just do a card.
Let's wrap it up with a card.
That's a good one. All right. This next question is for Kayla. What's one thing you'd like to get better at over this next year?
I know what it is, but I need to gather my thoughts on how to say it. I would say short answer is basically going after what I want and not making excuses or procrastinating or feeling unworthy of it or undeserving of it. So I think just being like, I want to do this, and then putting it into motion and doing it.
Mine is similar, but it is delegate my time to those things that I know I want to do. If that makes sense.
It's very similar.
Yeah. So I know what I need to do or what I'll benefit from if I keep doing it. I just need to make that time to do it. Stick to that time.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's like whenever I think about something I really want to do, it's just like I have this block, and it's just like I don't even know what it is or what it's saying. It's just a block.
Well, sometimes I've also realized, like I used to tell myself, well, I'm an artist. I can't just like create on the spot. Like I got to be inspired, and I got to like, be in the moment to like create, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And like that, it is true, but Also, if you give yourself a set time or a duration of time or whatever, and you force yourself into creativity, I know that sounds weird, but if you like force yourself into it, after a while, it's just practice. It's not necessarily like, it's like when I see Bob Ross and he, is painting on TV or whatever, he did all those shows or those television segments where it was always like 30 minutes or whatever they recorded. So after sessions and sessions of 30 minutes, he's like got that timetable figured out where his body, his repetition, his mind knows, okay, I know I'm about 20 minutes in. I know how much time left I have on this piece. So I think that's where I want to get with my art, is like put myself in a situation where I'm dedicating this hour, 2 hours, a specific chunk to doing my art, this little chunk for writing my book, this little chunk for my fitness.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. Get those every day.
I think, like you said, it being just a practice is good, because I want to be better about writing. But to me, in my mind, which is so silly, maybe this is kind of where you're going, is in my mind, it's like every time I sit down to write, it has to be like earth shattering. Like it has to be like, oh, that was the best piece I've ever written.
Right. So yeah,
as opposed to being like, I'm just writing just to write, to get in the habit, which I do write in my
those
journal.
Expectations on yourself, and you need to understand that what you need to do is just like really be yourself, And Michael Jordan hits a free throw. It's like, is that incredible, or is it just just because it's him? He made a free throw. It's like, I can make a free throw too, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
yeah. So just getting the mindset of, even if you don't do anything with what you wrote, you at least sat down and checked it off, and it's becoming a part of your neurological brain pattern at this point of, this is what I do. And we were talking about that yesterday of, because you're like, you're like, I like to have somewhere to be. And I'm like, I do too, but being an entrepreneur, I'm like, I tell myself I'm going to be somewhere, and then I go and do it. Where you're more right now, you're more of like, you like someone else to tell you where to be. Because it gives you like the obligation, and you want to show up for them, but you're not showing up for yourself a little bit, Yeah,
I guess.
It's hard to create that habit.
Yeah. No, that's just what it is.
So we'll both work on it. Air high five.
It's creating that habit.
Yeah. So we'll both try to do better about that, because we both have we have some big goals that we want to do, and it takes the practice to see there's plenty of stories, but you hear of a new artist come out or a new song, and you're like, oh, like they just came out of nowhere, but really they've been doing this for 10 years, writing songs. Like, song came out and it was so popular, and all these people were like, where did this guy come from? And for 10 years, he had written like 350 other songs that didn't get noticed. But then the one got noticed, and then they all freak out saying, oh, he's just, got lucky with this one, or he came out of the woodworks, when really he's been doing it the whole time.
That's why it's important as an artist, as a creative person. Like I've said this before, I've posted this on people's pages and stuff, but like Rick Rubin says, it's important just to have a creative process. So once you actually have a creative process, whether it's you in your podcast or your writing, you have a system in place to create the things that you like to create. You could use this as a production person in music. You could use this as a writer. You can use this as a painter, illustrator. But I know that I have like a certain process of how I create my artwork. No one really taught me this process. Like nobody. It's something that I have found over years of doing it. It's just,
you didn't find it, you created it.
It's just a process that is literally taken me since I was like 13 or 14, 15, like around that age, doing stuff, and all the way till now. And that same process has been refined and changed. So what I'm saying is, after you make a piece of art, whether it's music or illustration, whatever, you don't make that piece and you say, oh, this is a successful piece, or this is a bad piece. It's no good. It's like there's bits and pieces. You're like, oh, I like this part about it. I kind of don't like this little thing I did over here. So next time I make some, I might recreate that little part, leave this part out. And then you set it aside. You, like Billy Mays says, set it and forget it. So with my art, I set it and forget it, right? And later on, that one might become really special. But you're already on to the next thing. You're creating something else, and you're in that process of that creative process of
Yeah.
whatever it is. So you, as an artist or as a creator, in my opinion, should just work on that process and not necessarily be so connected and so attached to the final product.
Yeah.
The final product is made in your flow state, and then you set it free, and then it's free. You set it free to the world.
Yeah.
And then you allow another moment of time.
Yeah. Not put so much emphasis or expectation on the final product. Because it's about the journey.
Yeah.
Not the destination.
There you go.
So. Oh, I'm excited what we're going to create in 2024. Besides, we didn't really create that in 2024. That was 2023.
That was the best collaboration.
Forever. I feel like it's almost been forever. I think it's gone by fast. It's gone by really fast. Like it's gone by fast, but I feel like being pregnant is just who I am now. I'm like,
yeah, now that you're going to be,
this is who I am. I'm just a pregnant lady all the time.
Now that you're going to be a surrogate, you have to get used to it. Maybe, baby.
All right. We're going to go hang out with our family at the pool. Love you.
Hey, I love you too.